All right. I got a question for you.
Go for it.
Should the guy pay on a date?
My default is yes. But I heard someone give a slightly different answer. And it was who initiated the date. Like if this is this date one?
Okay.
So date one, I think it depends. How did you meet?
Okay.
Is this a cold call effectively? Is this a swipe right, swipe left?
Mm-hmm.
Is this a mutual friend got us together? Well, that's more of a neutral one. I'd like to be a gentleman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if, she messaged you out of the blue,
Mm-hmm.
she initiated it, and she invites you out, are you...
Well,
My default is as a guy to go ahead and say, hey, the guy covers it.
That's
if it's a date.
Let's take both avenues there and let's explore that, right? Because I think this is an interesting shift in society's thought process today, different than how it used to be. Mm-hmm. But okay, let's take the avenue of your traditional, right? The guy asks a girl out on a date. They met through mutual friends, etc. You go out to a dinner, right? Mm-hmm. There's option one, and then the option two is maybe you guys have met before, but you don't really know each other super well, and she reaches out on social media, and she's like, hey, would love to get coffee sometime, or whatever, etc. Okay? She initiated it. You're not super familiar, and it's more of like a less personal
it should almost be friends hanging out. Like, are we even friends?
Exactly, right.
As opposed to a clearly defined,
yes.
Hey, I'd love to take you to dinner.
Yep. So
very different.
Option one, does the guy pay? Do you split? Does the girl pay? Do you rock, paper, scissors for it?
Mm-hmm. I think if you're a traditional guy, your card is out before the waiter hits the table.
Okay.
If you're this other one where
option two,
and it didn't go well, and it was evident that she was never interested in you, and she was trying to get some free food, then you cover your own.
Really?
Now, if you really, really are the one like, you know what? I just want to give her a chance to go ahead and, I'm going to chalk this one up for me as wow, I got to be more careful. I got to vet better. Mm-hmm. Then, take care of it. If you make you as a man feel better, go ahead, take care of it. But in those first few dates, before it's official, before you're going steady, before it's your girlfriend, I like the girl to do the feigned attempt.
Feigned attempt.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, let me pay.
Exactly. You see the waiter walk up, and the waiter says, "Hey, is it going to be one or two?" Have her begin just to float her hand up to say, "Oh, I'll cover." No, I got you. Yeah, give us.
You want that chivalry?
Yes, absolutely. So I heard this in a video a while back. Was women need to give a guy a chance to be chivalrous.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So, we gotta go pretty old school with this one. We're walking down the road here. We're not on our phones. This is pre all that. Mm-hmm. And back in the kerchief days.
Yep.
And a woman drops her kerchief. The gentleman, like, oh my goodness, this fair lady has dropped her kerchief. Allow me to hand that back to her. We've been down, we pick it up. Darling, madam. Probably shouldn't say darling in this era yet.
Yeah.
But, madam, you've dropped this. Oh, silly me. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, it's so kind of you, sir. And all of a sudden, we're like, oh, we believe we've now saved the damsel. The damsel dropped the handkerchief on purpose.
I love that you acted that entire scene out for everyone to see, because the minute you told us, we all knew where you were going with that, but you felt the need to act it out. That's fantastic. I'm going to take us back to these two date things here, right? Because I know a lot of people have different thoughts about these, but I'm going to put out my opinion on this, and we can discuss some different options. Mm-hmm. But my personal opinion is, it doesn't matter what the option or the scenario is, the guy pays. Period.
Okay.
Always.
Okay.
Now, how that goes about, whether you want to play the, oh, let me pay first thing, however you want to do that, fine. But at the end of the day, if it's a guy and a girl getting coffee, getting dinner, brunch, whatever, the guy pays.
99 out of 100, I am totally there.
I'm 100 out of 100.
All right, let me ask this.
Mm-hmm.
This is more of a modern problem that we're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
The girl brings a friend.
So, that's a good option, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to exclude that one from the topic for this moment.
Sure.
And we can address that one later.
Okay.
But I'm going to set that one aside, and I'm going to say when it's a guy and a girl, the guy pays.
Okay.
Doesn't matter whether she asked you, whether it's unclear if you're dating or not, whether it's clear that you're not dating, even if you know you're not dating yet, and it's just two friends getting some ice cream or something.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
The guy still should always pay.
Generally speaking, I agree. That's, I think it's the polite thing. I think it sets a good pace and a good tone. That, hey, I am the kind of guy who takes care of not just my woman. I take care of my friends.
Yep.
I had not dating, but I had some good friends, and whenever we would go grab lunch together, we would compete a little bit about who is going to pay for that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Why? Because we're dudes. We're having some fun. We're competing. We were trying to see who gets the rewards points. I mean, we were whatever excuse it was.
Yep. Well, and I think the reason I brought this up is because in society today, we're seeing the shift where not everyone agrees with that, especially on the side of men. And a lot of times it's because they've had a bad experience, right? Somebody does bring a friend, or somebody is, they're just trying to get free food out of it, right? Like my mom actually used to do that back in the day. She'd get guys to take her to Taco Bell, and she'd try to get free tacos or whatever. But you try to get a free meal out of somebody, right? Guys feel used, right? And over a certain amount of time, you do that enough, you're like, you know what? I'm done paying for people. If it's not my idea, I didn't ask to go out, they can pay for it, right? Well,
what if the woman expects you to pay?
So
right off the bat. Not saying don't do it, but what does that just basically guarantee?
Walk me through what kind of scenario you're thinking here.
Okay. We're not sure if we're together. It's the first meeting. You go to a $25-$30 a plate item at a sit-in restaurant with cloth napkins.
Okay.
Nothing too crazy. Maybe a local Italian.
So you're like an Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Okay. They
come to the table. The conversation was just a bit mellow, but at the end of the meal, it's like, what?
It was fair.
It was fair. It was nothing crazy. The waitress comes over and says, "1 check or 2," and she locks eyes with you, or just looks away from the waitress, and just refuses to even make a comment.
So in my opinion, in that situation, I'm still going to say the guy should pay, right?
Sure.
But then you walk away.
Right. This is your
basically
you're paying.
If anything, that's the best thing that can happen, because now you know what that type of person is like, and you can not waste any more time or money on it.
Exactly. And that one's a real good example for you have a financial transaction that you get to pay an emotional price for, and now the payment's over. It's done right there. You're like, hey, I spent 2 hours of my evening. I spent $30. It is what it is. What did I learn from this? It wasn't, wrong mentality.
Yeah.
That woman on that night.
That wasn't the person for you.
Absolutely.
And I actually think that's one of the best things that can happen.
Yes.
Because if you're able to see it that soon in the relationship, then you're not wasting your time, right? It cost you $30 for a dinner, right? You got food, and you were able to move on with your life, right?
Absolutely. At the end of the meal, you chatted with someone. You determined this was not for me, maybe you learned a little bit, and hopefully you still had personally a good meal.
Yep. But I think at the end of the day, I'm always going to be a proponent of the guy should pay for the girl, because even if it's not a date, even if it's even, I'll go even as far to say, like, if I were to go, like you've rewind back when I'm a single fella,
Yes,
right, and I'm, I go to, XYZ, whatever, and somebody needed a ride, so I take that person, I'm taking them to a baseball game, whatever, just example, right? Well, everybody stops to get ice cream or whatever. You stop to get ice cream or whatever. I'm going to buy her ice cream.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely, because you're a kind guy. This is who you are.
Even though society would say it's perfectly fine for me to buy my own and she buys her own.
Sure.
I'm still going to buy her ice cream, because if we're aspiring to be true, better men, better gentlemen, and just overall better people, showing that level of respect, that level of care, that level of you're important to me and I'm going to take care of the people that are important to me.
Yes.
Mentality is critical to have. It's not about the $5 for ice cream or the $30 for dinner. It's about who you are as a person. Are you the kind of person who's out there just for you and your bank account? Or are you the kind of person that truly cares about other people and cares about who you are represented as a person? Because if I guess I can't sit with the feeling of, well, yeah, it was societally accepted for me to not pay for that, so I'm okay, right? Like,
No,
I'm
as I
never
play
going to
that
sit well with me. It's just not the kind of person that I want to be, and it's not the kind of person that I want to aspire to be, right? You never think of a great person in history and like, yeah, they definitely split the check. Like,
right, like I'm trying to play that scenario there of young Joseph, and he's just out with friends or out with a friend, and I don't pay for it.
exactly.
What was that? That's instinctual. I didn't even. It's like, oh.
And it's not about putting out this persona of, oh, I've got money, or I'm this, I'm that. It's about the characteristic that you take care of people, right? That you care about people and you want to make sure that they're provided for.
And I think that as the guy trying to be that guy, be that gentleman, it also pushes us not just to pay, but also to have the funds and have produced enough good in the world for people to give us that money. So let's say you work at, Wendy's, picking on them for a minute here. Let's say you make $10 an hour, just making this up here. After taxes, you're at $78. If you take a lady out for a $60 meal at Olive Garden, two $25 items and a $5 to $10 tip, because you're not going to be stingy with the tip either. You're going to be gracious to all involved parties. That is a full 8-hour labor for you to cover that meal. That's an actual genuine sacrifice for a young man. Like, hey, I worked all day for this. Maybe I need to be a little more careful on who I choose to go out with.
Exactly. Which would make you which would make the point, you shouldn't just be going out with people all the time for no reason. It's exactly why people, I think, get in these situations so often where they're like, well, I shouldn't have to pay for that, because this confusing interaction between this person, you're like, well, why were you in that situation to begin with? Well, I'm dating, whatever. If you're careful on who you date, you're not going to be dating 6 different chicks in 3 weeks, right? So, and that's beside the point. A lot of people will argue different points on that. But I think it comes down to it's chivalry, it's respect, it's character. And even though you may have a situation where you're not socially required to pay or provide or whatever you want to say, if we were to flip that, right, and you were to flip that back, who are you looking for in a spouse?
Yep.
Are you looking for someone who's like, well, I don't have to do the dishes or the laundry or take care of the house or whatever. I don't have to. I could. It'd be nice, but I don't have to, so I'm not gonna. Right? Like, is that who you're looking for in a spouse? Or are you looking for someone who's like, I don't necessarily have to do this, but I'm going to.
Right.
Right?
It's not a 50-50. It's 100-100.
Yeah. Society says that, I don't have to cook and clean, or I don't have to be mentally and emotionally supportive in certain times, but, so I'm not gonna, right? Like, that's not the person you want to be with. No. So don't be that person for the person you're with.
The best way to attract the spouse or friend that you want to have is to be the friend or spouse that you want to have.
Absolutely. So for me, that brings me to the point that it doesn't matter what the situation is, you should pay, because the worst case scenario is that you paid and you found out that they weren't someone you wanted to be around or to spend a lot of time with, and that really is not the worst thing in the world. So that's my opinion.
Well said.